San Juan at 6 p.m. May we rise for invocation. Mr. Juan, can you lead us, sir?
Yes, but if I may, Mayor, I would like to take a moment of silence and honor Mr. Ruben Rodriguez, one of our employees. He left us to be with our Lord this past weekend, so please join in on a moment of silence for Mr. Rodriguez. Dear Lord, as we gather here today, we ask you for your divine grace and guide our elected officials to make the right decisions that will impact our citizens of this great city. We ask and pray for the family of Mr. Ruben Rodriguez. Please keep and carry his precious family in their sadness and loss. Cover them with your great wings of love. Give their weary hearts a rest. Lift their eyes so that they may catch a glimpse of eternity and be comforted by the promise of heaven. May he rest in peace. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Flag for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May be seated. Is there any public comments? Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Sir, Mayor, Commissioners, good evening, staff, community. The first item on the agenda, Mayor, Commissioners, a proclamation proclaiming the week of April 11th to the 17th, 2021 is a Public Safety Telecommunications Week. Chief, proclamation. As we know, Mayor, Commissioners, this is the week where we proclaim the telecommunications staff. They're the unseen, what they call the unseen first responders. So this week is dedicated actually to them. So I want to thank those individuals that are behind when the people call for 911 distress calls, and those are the ones that actually take care of us very well. So thank you for that. If I don't even have anything to say, but I want to appreciate that. Sure.
Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, thank you for the time, and City Manager, thank you, sir, and for all our audience. It's very important for me to do the recognition this week. As you said, City Manager, there are our backbone to the police department, to the city, not only to the police department, but the fire department. And for that, this week, we celebrate and recognize the unseen heroes of law enforcement. These heroes are the most dedicated, loyal, disciplined, and committed individuals that you will encounter. And I'm glad to see another one. And for us, who are lucky enough to work with them, are blessed to call them co-workers and teammates, because that's what they are. These people wear many hats. They are psychologists, therapists, first-rate communicators, among other specialized occupations. They rarely are seen, but their voice is the first thing one will hear when they call the police department. They multitask on a daily basis, from answering the 911 systems, answering the police department landlines, answering and managing police radios and the fire department radios. And answering and management, they're doing all this while they're having to also dispatch the ambulance services. This takes a lot. For folks that never have taken the time to sit in the communication room, that is a lot. For one individual, we're lucky sometimes to have two individuals working there. These people have the nerves of steel, you see. They have to deal with irate people that are screaming for help at them. And while still dealing with that, they're having to respond to the radio and responding to the officers who are asking for backup. That takes a lot of nerve. And for them to be able to still remain cool, calm, and collective says a lot about them. These people are known as the thin yellow line. We have the red line and the blue line. But they are known as the thin yellow line. And I am proud to say they are the San Juan Police Department Public Safety Telecommunicator officers. Officers such as Samuel Sammy Arroyo, Jennifer Gutierrez, Norma Linda Rodriguez, Benito Garza, Sujei Mireles, Hernan de la Rosa, and Natasha Cordero. We, the San Juan Police Department, and the City of San Juan, and the citizens of San Juan are indebted to them. So I publicly want to thank them and tell them that they are a vital part of the San Juan Police Department. Thank you. This is a few of them.
Next item? Okay. The next item, Mayor Commissioners, we have, tonight, we also have presentation of the National Elementary Honor Society project from the Carmen Elementary at the San Juan Wetlands. Mr. Patrick Willingham.
Good afternoon, Commission. Before I get into my presentation, if you would please just allow me, I just wanted to say a few words to our general audience in regards to our employee who passed over the weekend. Mr. Ruben Rodriguez was with the city for a little over 7 years, and I just wanted to say that he was a very, very valued employee in our department. I mean, anybody you talk to in our department will tell you the same thing. He was, as Chief mentioned, these the telecommunications staff wear a lot of hats. Well, he wore a lot of hats for us as well. He was our liaison between our outside staff and our inside staff. I mean, he would always, tell staff, hey, mira, you want to take care of it on this side of the office, or do you want to go to that side of the office? Because if you go to that side of the office, it's going to get, and more than not, he would take care of it. And he just knew how to talk to everybody from day one. When I came here 4.5 years ago, he helped me with the lay of the land, who different people were, from coaches to staff to city employees. And he just really did a lot of things that go unseen. But believe me, we all saw it every day. And we can't replace him. Somebody eventually will have to take that spot, but he heard us out when we needed just to get something off our chest. And but his famous quote was, "Don't worry, we're gonna get the job done," and we would get it done. A lot of our events, he did a lot of the behind the scenes work. He wasn't out on the front lines, and he didn't want to be. He didn't want the recognition. So I just wanted to take a minute or two and let everybody know, anybody watching, that, and I know they know as well, how important he was to us. So, thank you for taking a minute, and well, it's like he would say, well, we got to move on. So we'll move forward. Yes, he will be greatly missed. So anyway, thank you for that minute, and I'm going to bring in Carmen Elementary. Our kids, you come right in here. So on March 31st, well, let me give you a little bit of background. Carmen Elementary reached out to me, and we have a group of National Elementary Honor Society members here. They have several projects to do throughout the year, service projects, and they reached out to see what they could do with the city. And I knew about a month ago we were still kind of limited on our programs and stuff, but one of the things that popped out was our scenic wetlands that we have over at the Parks office in the back. And we took a hit as far as some of our native vegetation freezing over the month of February. So we, brainstormed a little bit, and we came up with a project which that, as you see on the slideshow, is our entrance on the east side, the southeast side of the wetlands. And I know if you just look at that, it's like, well, is there a lot? Well, there is a lot going on in there, because unlike your landscape that we see at our homes and stuff, it's all native vegetation. We were very fortunate to have Mr. Alan Williams join us that morning. He's our habitat specialist for the PSJISD. He gave them a full course on what these plants meant to the area, what they mean to the wetlands, and all our visitors that come to the wetlands, and not just human visitors, but all the species that roam the wetlands. All the birds that take place. I know they got to see a lot of tadpoles that just had been coming out in the water. They got to walk a little bit of the wetlands and do that. But more importantly, we planted in that area over 30 different types of plants that day. So if you can just let the slideshow go, that's what it looked like before. It was kind of bare, and that's what it kind of is looking like now. And they came out that morning and they got a little rundown of what it was all about, and they got to work. And within about 2.5 hours, that area there transformed pretty nicely. So I'd like to introduce our Carmen Elementary National Elementary Honor Society group and our principal, Mr. Adrian Carr. He's got all their names, so I want him to be recognized properly. So I'll call Mr. Carr up to recognize the kids.
Thank you, Mr. William. And again, thank you all for having us, Mr. Garza, Mayor Garza, commissioners. Really appreciate, I'm gonna take my mask off. Really appreciate the opportunity to work with the city. And you all know I've been here before. And take great pride in having our kids be participating in city events. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce, these are not all the kids that showed up, but these are the kids that showed up today. We have Ryan Góngora. Raise up your hand, Ryan. We have Jacob Delgado. We have Avery Carpio. We have Sergio Gaitan, the mastermind of the project. We have Elisa Cortez. We have Roel and Rolando Lopez, and we have Emma Cantu. And along with them, we also had a couple of sponsors that went out there. Mrs. Aguirre, who is our chapter sponsor. She could not be here tonight. We also had Mr. Alfonso Perez, right back over here. And our assistant principal, Ms. Gisela Ramirez. She was not able to attend, but she was there in spirit. And then, of course, you all know that I'm always out there with the kids, so I was out there. And want to thank, again, Mr. Willingham. When we reached out to him, he made it happen. All we had to do is show up. And then especially Mr. Allen Williams that works with PSJISD. Even though I took these kids out from the classroom was outdoor that day. And Mr. Williams went through it to the point where I was actually right behind him because I wanted to know what he was talking about. And I mean, it was just amazing how we can come together and get our kids some education, not just in the classroom, but outside. So I want to thank them for that. And especially also Mr. Willingham, Mr. Ruben Guajardo, and all your staff. They went out there, they helped out. They really let the kids do their thing, and afterwards they helped us clean up. But really appreciate the partnership that we have with the city. And last but not least, our parents, right over here. Our parents have always been very supportive of anything that we do here on campus, and we couldn't do it without them. So thank you all very much. Thank you, parents. Thank you, Mr. Willingham. And again, thank you, City of FAR, for allowing us to do this. Appreciate it. What did I say? My apologies, City of. I'm a FAR. I used to be a FAR resident.
I was like, did he say?
City of San Juan. My apologies. But no, I really appreciate the efforts that we've done in prior years, and hopefully we continue in the future. So thank you, City of San Juan. Thank you.
Before I send the kids over so you can shake everybody's hand, I just want to share a real quick story. I thought it was really awesome. When I first got reached out about this project, one of our Parks Board members, Dr. Claudia Alvarado, reached out to me and kind of mentioned the story, and I said, sure, absolutely. Let's sit down, let's talk, and what can we do to help and make this little service project happen. So we set up a date and a time, and I told Ruben, I said, hey, we got Carmen Elementary coming over today, an EHS sponsor, Mr. Carr. I don't know who's coming, but, let's just get ready. And so anyway, long story short, Claudia gets there and they call me, they're here ready to meet. And I said, okay, set him in. Well, she comes in and Sergio, here, come here, Sergio. Comes in and he's with her and he's like, okay, he's ready to meet. And I was like, Sergio? And I was like, okay. So he sat right down to it, started asking a bunch of questions about San Juan Parks and Recreation and the wetlands and what they were going to do and what type of tools do we need and what type of supervision or, plants. And Is it going to be water? And I mean, through the whole questionnaire. So bottom line, the representative I met with was Sergio Gatan. So he was the mastermind behind this. And from the first meeting till the end of it. So I just wanted to recognize him because he did a great job interviewing me, not us interviewing them. So a great job, Sergio. And really great job to all the kids. They did a wonderful job.
This was response.
Good job. Congratulations.
Good job, guys. Let me move this out of the way and we can get the kids to stand right there. Kids, stay right there. Stay right there so we can get a picture. Y'all come in. Come in.
Congratulations, guys.
Good job.
Great job, guys. And again, thank you, parents, for everything. And it was a very great and successful project. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda, Mayor Commissioners, is a presentation for fiscal year 2022, community project funding sponsored by Congressman Vicente Gonzalez. This is an item that was brought forward by Chief of Police. Chief, you want to say on this item?
Thank you again. This is minimal information, but I wanted to make sure that we included it in the agenda and make you aware of what's out there right now. This fiscal 2022 community project funding information, of course, it is spearheaded by Congressman Vicente Gonzalez. It is minimal information that I have for you, but I just wanted to give you a heads up of what's coming. This grant is basically, or project, it's combined. What they're wanting to do is going to be more of a regional funding, and I believe it's either going to be McAllen, City of McAllen, or the City of Mission Police Department that will be handling the writing of the grant. And from there, once the monies are divided or decide what project will benefit the whole Hidalgo County, that's where the money's going to go in. But we will be part of that decision also. So just wanted to give the commissioners heads up of that project, what's coming up.
The grant they just restarted after so many years of being dormant.
This project, sir, was apparently something that just was new, that just came up with Congressman Gonzalez. It was nothing that was prior or anything. It was just nothing to include what the other COVID fundings. This is just a separate, that a couple of congressmen got together and were able to believe it was like 5 million. But I believe what they're telling us is going to be 3 million is going to be for Hidalgo and 2 million is going to be sending to Cameron County among the police departments. So we don't know, we don't have the breakdown or any of that information, but just wanted to let you know what's coming down the pipeline. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Item on the presentations tonight, we had a presentation on the departmental reports. Tonight we have Department of Planning and Zoning, Department of Parks and Recreation, San Juan Memorial Library, and the Department of Sanitation. Every department director should be here ready, available should you have any questions. But before we start, Mayor Commissioners, I'd like to just acknowledge that last week on Wednesday, we had the vaccine drive on the COVID, Moderna. And I want to congratulate and thank every single staff member that was out there helping us out through the process. At first, it was like, it was a little bit nerve-wracking because we hadn't done it before. And the chief here did an awesome plan as to the process, how it was going to take place. The flow was just perfect. It was great. We had a great weather, everything just falling in our favor. So I want to thank the staff. I want to thank the Chief Morin, for helping us out on the traffic control, but most importantly, Chief Garza for coming up with this plan. It was an awesome plan, and I think we're ready for another drive if we can.
That was my next question. I think what I've heard that it was very successful, and all you all who took part in this, did a tremendous job. But I know that at this time, I think we spoke about here, having another drive here in the future. So if you can just continue, Chief, touching base with the county and see where, oh, there he is. Oh, I didn't recognize you. I'm sorry, Commissioner. Yeah, so, okay. But no, thank you so much. Great.
Mayor. Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
Guys, congratulations. It was, didn't make it out there, but from what I heard and from everybody's response, it flowed. It was flawless. So first time doing it in that manner. Commissioner, thank you. Appreciate everything you do for San Juan. Really helps us out tremendously, and any partnerships we can do forward, we're here for the county as well. But both you chiefs, thank you very much, and to your staffs.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Cantu, for helping us out in the city of San Juan. And by the way, I just got word yesterday, starting in the Collision High School, PSJA, Tuesday and Wednesdays from now on, from 11 to 3, they're going to be giving out the vaccines. So if anybody you guys know about, anybody need the first vaccine, starting Tuesday, started yesterday, today and tomorrow. It'll be from 11 to 3 from now on every week
But the collegiate.
at the Collegian High School. Just a word from one of our nurses there from Austin Middle School.
Cool.
At this time, Arjona, can just go ahead, because I know we got individuals in the back, and I'd like to just take this agenda a little out of order, and let's go under discussion and possible action on the following matters. On D, discussion and possible action to approve a partnership between the City of San Juan Police Athletic League and RGV Golden Gloves to host their 85th annual South Texas Amateur Boxing Tournament, RGV 2021 tournament, to take place at the San Juan Municipal Park. Mr. Guajardo, you want to go ahead and...
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, Mr. Arjona. As you recall, or as you may recall, in approximately February of 2020, our commission approved our first ever San Juan Police Athletics / Activities League, also known as San Juan PAL. Upon approval, we hit the ground running, and with the assistance of Mr. Willingham and Mr. Roel Garza, we managed to get the proper paperwork filed with National PAL, finalize our articles of incorporation, began the process of filing our 501c3, and establish a San Juan PAL board. Then the pandemic hit, which obviously halted all operations. A year later, here we are again, and definitely we're looking forward to finally pick up where we left off. As of recent, we did have our second PAL board meeting in March, and we're scheduled to have our April meeting next week. During our March meeting, we were able to introduce Chief Morin to our PAL board, and believe me, he shares the same enthusiasm as we do, which is doing anything for our community. So thank you, Chief. Now in brief, the focus of San Juan PAL and the National PAL organization is the prevention of juvenile crime and violence. By building relationships between our youth and our police officers, we becoming mentors to them. We ask ourselves, how can we bridge that gap? How can we make that connection? National PAL has implemented throughout the years programs to assist with this. They break it down to 3 key aspects: athletics,
character development / education, and the arts. You know, some example of these are of athletics participation is track and field, boxing, swimming. Examples of the character development are after-school programs, homework aid, homework assistance, and again, mentoring. And they also introduced the arts, which is dancing and cooking, woodwork, extracurricular activities. And of course, with these variety of options or programs that are out there, it allows them to target the many different interests of our youth out there. Okay? Which brings us why we're here today. San Juan PAL is now looking to begin implementing programs in San Juan. Just like I said, want to begin again where we left off. Programs just like the ones mentioned. As you can see, we have some individuals here with us today representing multiple organizations. And if you can kindly look at a flyer that was passed out to you. Boxing. Boxing is one of the programs that San Juan PAL is looking to consider for the future of San Juan, along with many others. National PAL does have a large following and the youth interest in this sport. By coincidence, about a week and a half ago, we were approached by these individuals who are looking for an outdoor venue to host their 85th annual Golden Gloves regional boxing tournament, like Mr. Arjona just mentioned. With us today, representing RGV Golden Gloves, we have Mr. Oscar Tovar. We have Ms. Ashley Tovar and Mr. Chris Cabrera. Additionally, and I thank you for being here today, we have Mr. Tom Lindsay, who's actually representing USA Boxing and the South Texas Amateur Boxing Association. Okay, so as Mr. Arjona mentioned, you know, the potential dates that they're looking to have this is the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of April at our soccer field here at Municipal Park. So what I'll do is just turn over the mic to Mr. Cabrera to touch just on the event, participants, you know, what it entails of being a regional tournament, okay, the qualifications. And then at the end, we could also bring in Mr. Lindsay to touch on any other issues. Okay, so if you have any questions, we can do that at the end also. All right, thank you. Mr. Cabrera.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cabrera. I'm here representing the RGV Golden Gloves. The Texas Golden Gloves, I'm sure most of you have heard of Golden Gloves, and by no means is the Golden Gloves the biggest name in boxing, but it probably is the most recognizable. If you tell the average person on the street that you got a Golden Glove, either you're a really good boxer or you're a really good baseball player. It's one of the two. But so a few years back, about 4 years ago, the Brownsville Parks and Rec was hosting the Golden Gloves tournament. My brother-in-law and I, Oscar Tovar back there, we managed to get a hold of the franchise and move it back to the Upper Valley. Reason being is it's a lot easier to hit the Upper Valley than it is, say, in Brownsville or even in Laredo. So our area covers from Laredo to Brownsville. So we're trying to keep it in the center and try and grow it. Our first year, 4 years ago, and we had like 27 people enter. I mean, it was small. This year, we're expecting over 350. So we're growing. We have a 92% win ratio at state, more than it's ever been, more than any other franchise in the state of Texas. What we're looking to do is bring it here to San Juan, and in doing that, it obviously it's going to bring people to your town, to this city. It'll fill up hotels. It'll pack restaurants. It'll fill up the gas stations. This year is unique in that Corpus Christi couldn't have their show, so they're going to jump on board with us. So just north of Corpus Christi, Kingsville, Laredo, or not Laredo, Robstown, all those areas will come down here. We've also had some interest as far away as Tyler, Texas, and San Antonio for those folks to come in and compete as well. So that's one of the, I guess, the benefits of having it this year. And, indoor, we can't do anything indoors nowadays because with the COVID. So that's what we're looking to do is bring it here to the city. What we've done through boxing, my brother-in-law has had his gym for over 22 years. And boxing gyms, they're not money makers. They're just not. And if you're in it to make money, you're a very bad businessman. But we do it because somebody did it for us when we were younger. So we're passing it on to this next generation, and hopefully they'll pick it up and do it as well. I've been in law enforcement for just over 19 years. Before that, I was in the military. And in the past 4 years, I think we've put upwards of 18, 19 kids, I say kids, they're grown men now and women, in different law enforcement agencies, whether it's federal, state, or local, and another probably at least twice as much in the military. And the Valley has great fighters, but what we need is even better productive members of society. And that's what we're trying to do. We've taken kids that were gang members that had really slim outlooks on life and changed them, turned them around, and sent them to college, sent them here, sent them there. And that's our goal in life, because we see as an uncoachable kid is an unemployable adult. And if these kids can learn how to be productive through boxing, if that's what works, then that's what we do. Thank you guys for hearing us. We hope to be working with you guys. And Patrick and Ruben Guajardo, thank you for getting us this opportunity to speak to you. Thank you.
I'd like to bring up also Mr. Tom Lindsay, USA Boxing.
Thank you guys for the opportunity to talk to you guys today. Little history about USA Boxing. In the Valley especially, we are the largest LBC in the country. Our jurisdiction goes from a little north of Austin, and as you go west, we'll go past Del Rio, Eagle Pass, in that area. If you go back to the right and down to the south, you will go through Victoria and Corpus, and everything in between. We are the largest LBC in the country. With this Golden Gloves coming hopefully to here, your economic impact alone is going to be, for the size of the tournament, it's about $350,000 to $400,000 the first year here. That's a big major impact for your hotels, the food, and the lodging too, for the people that's coming in from out of town. To give you a little history on STABA, currently across the USA Boxing, we are the ones who sends the Olympians to the Olympics. We currently have 20,000 members, which is very strong for this time fighting the pandemic. In the Valley alone, or in South Texas, should I say, we currently have over 2,000 members. So that constitutes by far what we're talking about. I just happened to do last week the national championship. It was put off in December because of COVID. We just finished it and did it in Shreveport, Louisiana. Needless to say, we had history making, over 1,000 successful bouts with 4 rings going for 10 straight days. Just to show you the numbers, and the numbers for that economic impact was about 7 to 10 million for Shreveport. It was a very big impact. We want to keep boxing down here in the Valley for several reasons. One, it's hard to get everybody to go through the checkpoints and out to go to San Antonio, and you have a lot of big sleepers down here. Some of the boxers that come from here is like Eric Molina, world heavyweight champ. Omar Figueroa was the middleweight champ. Brandon is still champ and still moving up. Robert Garcia is the WBC silver middleweight right now. You had El Tigre, Raul Sarzetas, and from this area, very proud of what Pablo Ramirez has done. He is the only one in history next to Mike Tyson that has won the Oscar de la Hoya Athlete of the Year in the national tournaments, which is very, very highly accredited for what he did. This tournament is going to have between 300,000 and 400,000 impact to you at just its size. We're looking at maybe 300 plus members to participate, because we're getting calls all over from the LBC to come down to here. You're talking up to 150 to 200 nights, hotels. plus the food. It's a win-win situation for the city of FAR and the PALs and Golden Gloves. Currently, we're in the process of having 3 more national tournaments this year. And I'm trying to get them moved here, regionals, and I'm working on as a process now, and it's gonna happen. This is just the first step to come to you guys. Our COVID policy is strict. We started back boxing as test with the Olympic Committee and the CDC, hand in hand with them to make sure everything was done as lowest risk as possible. We haven't turned back. We've done 20 sanctioned bouts in this LBC. We do require masks. We do push the safety 1,000%. I'm happy to say after 20-plus events, and some of these states are still not even open yet. California is just now starting to open up. New England is just now starting to open up, with New Hampshire stepping up now, taking it to the next level. But South Texas was the one who got it started. I don't want to talk too much, guys. I can sit here all night and talk boxing. Good, it's just great. But thank the PAL again and the city for just listening to what we have to offer. And it's not for us, it's for the athletes. It's the economic impact you're going to make for these kids. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Commission, we're open for any questions you have, the gentleman in the back.
Yes, just for clarification, as far as the city, what part are we gonna take into coming in and teaming up with this Golden Gloves deal?
Right now, our part is gonna be an in-kind donation. It's gonna be waiving the fee of our facilities. Okay, we're gonna assist on some cleanup, daily cleanup, which is our city employees. And on top of that, we are, and I'm saying we, which is gonna be the San Juan PAL program, will be receiving a percentage off the gate, okay, to assist us in any future expenditures. So that's about it right now. We're still talking detail in regards the specifics to that, and I'll be more than happy to relay that to you guys once we coordinate that.
I just want to make sure, I mean, I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, being here this evening. This means a lot to the great city of San Juan. You know, we are a city that are always here with open arms. You know, we like to think outside the box, and we like innovative as well. So I know boxing's real big. I'm a big boxing fan. I like boxing, and I'm pretty sure some of these guys up here like watching boxing too. But the only thing what I'd like to do is, do we go into like a contract or anything, or can we review what they have, Mr. Palacios, just like for liability purposes or anything like that? Okay. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we put that on the record. Ma'am, you can come to the podium and just state your name, ma'am, for the records. Yeah.
Actually, as far as the insurance, the sanction that we pay for, so once we put the location,
Okay.
USA Boxing provides an insurance
Great. Perfect.
already for the event.
Yeah, I just want to kind of put this on the record, so
Okay.
that way, if it does get approved this evening, then we'll still have legal, our city
well.
attorney just kind of review
Yes, sir.
y'all's paperwork and make sure, we're good to go.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you so
Mr.
much, ma'am.
President.
Any questions, gentlemen? No? Okay. Mr. Horn, you have something to say? No. Okay. Okay, with that being said, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
In favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Yeah, from the beginning.
Yes, Mayor Commissioner, we can go back to presentations. Again, we have the different departments. Like I mentioned, they're here ready available, so if you have any questions for planning and zoning, parks and recreation, memorial library, and also the sanitation department.
I guess I can start off oh, no, go ahead. I'm good. Yeah. Gentlemen, any questions for the directors?
If I may,
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Willingham is here. Mr. Willingham, on your report, Mr. Willingham, I noticed that you're gonna start with the City League baseball, softball.
Correct.
How many games are they gonna be playing?
We're gonna we're planning for the 14 game schedule.
Yeah.
Only city, we're not doing all-stars this summer.
Okay.
Because of the time frame, and even Pony still wasn't sure of what they were doing or how they were gonna do it. I think, I think I mentioned in prior meetings, upstate, they're a little bit more ready to go than from about San Antonio down. Down across the valley, we've met several times throughout this year, at least once a month, and pretty much every city's going to do that. Is going to have a local league only. So that's what we're sticking to. We're going to stick to the same rules. We'll have a draft. We'll follow Pony rules since we are a Pony city. There just won't be any postseason play. But we just felt it was important to start getting the kids back out and playing. And registration's been going pretty good. We didn't go public in the sense that we hadn't put anything on our social media yet. What we did is, based on the last 2 years of registration through Rec Desk, we're able to directly contact all our families to let them know registration is open. I believe tomorrow or Thursday at the latest, we'll put it out to the general public. But registration is going to be going on till mid-May. So everybody will have plenty of time. We just wanted to let all those who had registered last year and got cut off right before it started, just the first opportunity to come in and take care of that. And they've been doing so. It's been going pretty well.
And you answered my second question as far as the advertising. But as far as the summer programs, I know in the past, we sent out the little, what is it, pamphlets?
Flyers, yes, the little program booklet.
Through the schools.
Yes.
So how are we gonna do that this year?
Well, we're gonna post it on social media. We just completed that today. We're just waiting on a couple of items from different departments that we want to include. Some events going on throughout the summer, like our reading program here, and we want to also advertise the cleanups and stuff like that, whatever dates they have. That was one question I trying to catch the principal before he left and asked him. So they're expecting anywhere between 100 and 150 kids to be attending after Monday, give or take. So we'll still get them those to those that are attending school. We will still take copies.
Okay.
And then we're going to see how we can get it out to those that are not, maybe through Google Classroom, through the schools, for those kids that are online, so they can have an option to see it maybe in their break. We're going to do everything we can to get it out to the parents and to the kids.
To jump in on that, maybe, Mr. Arjona or the city staff can maybe include a pamphlet or something like that, as long with a water bill or something that goes out. That way, everyone gets it, or every single house gets it from,
Sure.
here within our city.
Yeah, that can work too.
That may cover everybody amongst the other ways.
Right. Yeah, we want to get it out next week so that they have the whole month of May to really have time to get started. We're going to do a limited, we're going to do track, we're going to do tennis. We're trying to finalize things for a swim program, a competitive swim at the new natatorium at PSJ. So we're trying to get as much as we can and give them as many options as possible. We can't do everything we would like. We're trying to stay away from the indoor stuff. But as far as outdoor, we're trying to get them out as much as possible.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Willingham, in reference to the baseball programs, are you gonna have any type of restrictions in regards to spectators? Yes, sir.
What's been working for us up to now, and I know the state lifted, a lot of the restrictions. However, we still encourage it. We left all our signs up. We still encourage social distancing. I think we're going to leave the bleachers out still, because that kind of, the families tend to sit together, but then apart from the
Correct.
next one, without us having to go and be policing everything. That's been working so far. We have 7 teams playing right now in our spring league for baseball for our high school, and that's been working very well. No bleachers. They kind of spread out on their own, and it's been working very well. And they're not giving us any hard times about masks or things like that. So it's been going well.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions for the directors? Go ahead, sir.
Chief, I was approached by some residents there in West Side San Juan. They're just west of the church, the shrine. And their concerns was the amount of graffiti that's coming up in that neighborhood. I actually I listened and then I go drive by the area and I did notice that there's some heavy graffiti coming up. I don't know it's recently has happened with the past couple of months now. So if we can take a closer look at that area. Right, right. Right, exactly, right. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move on. Go ahead, Mr.
Yes, sir. On the public hearing, we have hold the first public hearing of the ordinances for the rezoning request from multifamily resident district to single-family resident district of the 16.357 acre tract of land out of the west, 4.07 acres of lot 7, block 7, and 12.29 acres out of the east, 14.83 acres of lot 7, block 6, John Clausen subdivision out of porciones 71 and 72, located approximately a quarter of a mile west of Raul Longoria Road along the north side of Eldora Road, as requested by Meldon and Hunt. Mr. Escobar.
Mayor, Commissioners, so this is located on Raul Longoria and Eldora Road, so it's west of the main drain ditch. There's a map of the location in your packet. Previously, this is actually rezoned to multifamily, so they're actually going back to single family. In that area, it can actually be either one, but for now, they're going from multifamily to single family. They want to do a residential subdivision at that location. We did submit letters to the residents. We also sent a newspaper advertisement. We did get one opposition, but he actually was saying he didn't want multifamily, which that's not what we're doing. We're actually going to single family. So, yeah, he just got confused.
That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up at 6:48 p.m. 6:48 p.m. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions for Mr. Escobar, members of the commission? I see that it's at 6, unanimous, right? Okay, all right. Any questions? If not, I'll go ahead and close this up at 6:49 p.m. Is there a motion to approve? Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, hold the first public hearing of the ordinance for the rezoning request from single-family resident district to multifamily resident district for an 8.65 acre tract of land out of lot 12 and 31 Alamo Land Insurance Company subdivision located at southwest corner of Ridge and Cesar Chavez Road as requested by Esponjas Development Ltd.
This is also a zone change from single-family residential district to multifamily residential district, and it's located on the south side of Ridge Road in Cesar Chavez. This is actually a subdivision that's coming in, Meadows on Ridge subdivision. The west side is multifamily and the east side is single-family residential district. So they're just zone changing that multifamily section.
I'm gonna go ahead and open this up at 6:50 p.m. Is there someone here for or against? For or against? Any questions for Mr. Escobar?
Mr. Escobar, do we have any complaints on this item, B?
I know previously there was
Any
some
residents?
comments that were provided.
Comments or-
I believe they should be in the packet.
Planning and zoning also
Yes.
was unanimous.
They did approve it, yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see it. It's right here. It's on 41, page 41. This is just one. You said there's two, yeah, the next one's over. Questions for Mr. Escobar?
This is the subdivision that's gonna have something similar to the one behind HEB on Ridge, correct?
It's like Carroll States on
Which is that one?
Stewart and Second.
Students, that-
Carroll. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close this at 6:51 PM. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item, hold a first public hearing of the ordinance for the rezoning request from single-family residence. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, can I make a comment just to that item? Just something, this is more of a compliment to the city. I know I've been developing land in the city of San Juan for many years. And I'll go back to 2017 when we did Garden Ridge. And there was not a lot of interest from builders to come into the city of San Juan. But you see it now and where we're at now and starting in 2020, where builders are tripping over themselves to come in and build specs in the city of San Juan. This is something that I've never seen in the city of San Juan. And so I think it's a compliment to you all and everything that's happening in the city of San Juan. And I think that, bringing in nice multifamily, and I know the item's already approved, but I'm going somewhere with this. The fact that somebody is willing to come and develop high-end apartments in the city of San Juan says a lot about the city of San Juan. People say, I had a subdivision in McAllen, Sherryland School District. They're like, well, where do we go now? We're going to San Juan. And people are tripping over themselves once again in investing in these $400,000 fourplexes where they're going to have to find renters. And I said, we're moving in Carroll. That's the one behind Audi. And you see the people that are investing in there with a lot of confidence because they know that it's going to be successful. And a lot of people ask me, well, what's it going to rent for? I said, well, I don't have any comps in San Juan because there's nothing like this in San Juan. This is the first opportunity in San Juan, and this one is the second. But I tell you, I'll put it against, the subdivisions in FAR, Brentwood next to HEB, Medical Ridge, and even the Heights at McCall and McAllen. You're going to get those same type of rents because there's a demand, there's a need for rental units. If somebody wants to start a family and they want to start from the bottom, right? If you consider rentals the bottom, and because owning a home is the ultimate goal. Well, where do you go? How do you start at the bottom? How do you find somewhere to rent? I mean, the only thing available in San Juan are houses, if there's houses for rent. So if your long-term plan is to build a house, this gives you that opportunity. So it's just I wanted to make that statement because it's a compliment to everything that you guys are doing. All the expansion, all the businesses that are coming in, your POW program, people are watching, people are seeing all that. So congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Let me just ask Mr. Escobar, how many subdivisions do we have pending so far?
A lot, at least.
25?
Well, that's there's a lot of lists, but like major ones, there's probably about 8 major subdivisions with like over 50 lots. Yeah.
So now we're going to see, right?
Okay. The next item, Mayor Commissioners, is hold the first public hearing of the ordinance of the rezoning request from single-family residence district to general business district of tract 1, the 5.43 acre tract of land of the south, 500 feet of the west, 495 feet of lot 14, block 47, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision, tract 2, the 9.3 2-acre tract of land for the west 495 feet of the north 820 feet of lot 14, block 47, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision, located approximately 3/4 of a mile east of Raul Longoria Road along the north side of Nolana Avenue as requested by Juan Maldonado. Mr. Escobar.
So this also, it's a zone change. It's on the north side of Milana Avenue and Cesar Chavez Road. So in this one, the front 250 feet of the property is already general business C2, so they want to zone change the back portion of that property. Some of the things you can do in C2, grocery stores, hardware stores, barbershops, plazas, banks, real estate offices, medical clinics, commercial parking lots, hotels, product manufacturing, wholesale trade, automotive repair. So those are some of the things that you can do. We did send out letters to the residents. I believe, I'm not sure if there was a couple comments, but they should be in the packet.
Okay. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up at 6:56 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions for Mr. Escobar this time, in regards to this matter? On this particular item, Mr. Escobar,
Yes.
last meeting we had, was it tabled?
I think no action.
There was a no action?
No action, yep.
Okay, no, I was just, all right. Any questions for Mr. Escobar? Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna close this at 6:57 PM. Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item for the first public hearing for the voluntary annexation petition for the Valley Ranch subdivision phase 2, being 9.76 acre tract of land out of lot 5, block 27, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision, as per the map recording volume 1, pages 24 through 26. Map records Hidalgo County, Texas, located at the northwest corner of Hall Acres and Cesar Chavez Road, as requested by OC Development Ltd.
So this is also, it's a voluntary annexation. It's currently in the UTJ, so once they do develop, we do ask that they voluntarily annex. So this is for Valley Ranch subdivision phase 2, which is actually Cesar Chavez and Hall Acres, and it's located on the east side of the drainage ditch that we actually just recently annexed. So we have to do 2 public hearings. That's today, April 13th, and then we'll do another one May 11th. And then once we go for that, we'll have 2 ordinance readings as well. And then once it does become city, we'll send it to all the agencies so that they can update their records that it's city.
I'm gonna go ahead and open this up at 6:58 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions for Mr. Escobar, members of the commission? No? Okay. I'll go ahead and close this up at 6:58 PM. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Item hold a second and final public hearing for the voluntary annexation petition for the proposed Meadows on Ridge being 5.42 acre tract of land out of lot 12, block 31, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision, as per the map recording in volume 1, pages 24 through 26. Map records Hidalgo County, Texas, located at the southwest corner of Ridge and Cesar Chavez Road, as requested by Esponja Development Ltd.
So this is our second and final reading for the voluntary annexation of Meadows on Ridge. It's actually 5.42 acres that are outside of the city, and it's actually part of the Meadows on Ridge, which is total 32 acres development that they're gonna bring in. So we're having two public hearings. We had one on February 9th and then also March 9th. So this is, you know, we're gonna have 2 ordinance readings as well on that. So once we do adopt it into the city, we'll provide a letter to all the agencies so that they know it's city limits.
That being said, I'm gonna open this up at 6:59 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions for Mr. Escobar, members of the commission? No? Good, okay. Close this at 7 o'clock PM. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Been second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
On the ordinances, we have consideration of an ordinance amending chapter 1 general provisions, article 1.05 administrative fees Section 1.05.003, Fire Department of the City of San Juan, Code of Ordinances for the purpose of establishing certain fees for the fire department provided by the City of San Juan, Texas, providing for publication and effective date, providing for a severability clause, providing for Texas open meetings compliance, and providing for a repealer clause. Chief?
Yeah. Good evening, Mayor. I'm gonna recommend that we table this item currently because upon reviewing it, there's some vital information that was overlooked.
There's some what, Chief? I'm sorry.
Some vital information that was overlooked.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
And so if we could, we'll put it back on the agenda for the 27th.
For the
Apologize. Yes, sir.
So you'll be ready by the next meeting?
Yes, sir.
That would be a table instead of a no action.
Oh, no action? Okay. Yeah, we'll have it ready for the next meeting.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
This time we'll table.
Thank you.
The next item under discussion and possible action on all the following matters. We have a discussion and possible action to approve the renewal of the wholesale wastewater treatment interlocal agreement by and between the City of San Juan and North Alamo Water Supply Corporation, authorize the mayor to execute all related documents and budget amendment as needed. Mr. Salinas?
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. We brought this item to you at the last meeting. The city manager requested that we take no action on it, so we just bring it back for your consideration. Is the original agreement. There is no change to that, so we're just proposing to renew it as is existing without the increase in it at this moment. Yes, exactly the way it is. And then once we look into the matter often, if we decide we got 30 days to send a letter to North Alamo advising them that we'll be considering increasing the fees.
Any questions for Mr. Salinas? Not, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The next item, consider selecting a constructability review firm and authorize the city manager to enter into a contract constructability review services per RFQ 21-02-02-22. Salinas?
Mayor, Commissioners, at the last meeting, we also took no action on this item. I did reach out to the top vendor or responder on this, and on your question for a guarantee on the, let me take this off, sorry. For a guarantee on the change orders, he said they couldn't do that, but what they do guarantee is if they tell us that the project can be billed for a certain price, and it comes back higher than that, that they will build the project for the cost that they have told us.
Basically the same thing. It's just the
Basically,
amount
yeah.
of change orders. are different.
Correct. What they're saying is, our budget for this project is, say, is $9 million. And they review everything and they tell us that their project can be built for 8.5. We put it out for bid and it comes back at 9.5. They say they will come and build a project for the 8.5 they told us it should cost. That is what they're telling us. And they will put that in a guarantee in a contract.
Okay. That sounds better. A lot better.
Yeah. So whatever price they give us, they will guarantee in the contract in writing that they will come back and construct that project, whatever they told us for that price.
Yeah, just make sure, Mr. Palacios, we review that. Okay. Any questions for Mr. Salinas?
The mayor?
Go ahead, sir.
So, Mr. Salinas, and this is for all projects that
It's-
are coming before the city?
It's for whatever project we want them to review. We don't have to have them review every project. We can, whatever capital improvement project that we wish to do. Say like, for instance, the wastewater plant that we're doing right now. That'd be one of the projects I would like to have them review. The lift that also I would like to have them review because they are a substantial amount of money. One of them is for $9.8 million. The other one is $1.3 million.
And
So,
that was gonna be my next question.
Yes.
So then if in that project they can't deliver, then we don't have to continue doing business with them. That's
Correct.
the contract, right?
correct.
The contract will stipulate.
Yes, well, we can stipulate an out clause. We always have stipulated termination clause for either for without cause or for cause. We'll just have to work with the city attorney to make sure that we include the language that we're comfortable with in the contracts.
All right.
And I guess to clarify, it's per individual project that we ask them to do, correct?
Correct, yes.
Gotcha.
And there is no fee until we negotiate the contract for that specific project. So if we don't give them a project for the rest of the year, they don't charge a fee until we ask them to review a project and give us a contract for that project so they can review it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Sir.
The next item is consider authorizing city manager to declare vehicles as salvage and surplus property. I know within your packet, there's some vehicles that are considered to be, where they, salvage and surplus, so we're asking for your permission to authorize them and be considered for that. There's 4 vehicles.
Any questions for Mr. Arjona? If not, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And on D, we took care of that. And consent agenda.
Under consent agenda, Mayor Commissioner, we have item A, B, C, D, and E, and F. If you would like to pull any of those items out in order to discuss it more deeper, or should we just approve them all by themselves, I mean, as is?
At this time, is there anything we need to amend or modify under consent agenda? Amend or modify? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Letter D, we're going back to the one that we said about the parking fee, right? The park, legal counsel? On letter D. Is it, that's, about the park fees?
Yes, sir.
Does that have to do with the park fees and the AD standards, or only the park fees?
This is regarding this would be regarding this is not the park, Robert, this is the parking? That's what the subdivision.
That's for the subdivision,
This
right?
is, no, so this is something else.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
we
has
just-
nothing to do with
oh,
it.
okay.
No, we just voted on this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for the building parking.
Right, that's a parking
We just voted on it, so.
Yeah, okay.
Anything else? Amend or modify? No. That being said, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting has been adjourned at 7:07 PM. Thank you.